Hi all and welcome to this week's episode of the Henwood Edge. I'm Chris Henwood with North Point Bank, and today we're going to talk interest rates. So one of the most common questions I get from clients is, what's your interest rate? And the answer that I invariably give is, it depends. There are no two situations that are exactly the same. There are no two circumstances that are identical. And there are a lot of factors that go into determining what your interest rate is on any given scenario. So let's just jump right in and see what determines interest rates. So these are the factors that will affect what your interest rate will be on your mortgage. First one, your credit score and your down payment. Credit score and down payment, the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate. Down payment, the more you're putting down on the property, generally the lower your interest rate. So those are two factors that will determine it. Second of all, the loan amount. There are varying loan amounts that exist. Once you get over $726,525 for a loan amount, you are into jumbo territory. And then you have your below that, your high balance tier, and the below that, your conventional. So at each of those tiers, the interest rate varies as well. In addition to that, the mortgage loan program. Are you choosing a variable rate, 3-1, 5-1, 7-1, 10-1 ARM? Are you choosing a fixed rate mortgage? These are factors that can go into determining what your interest rate is, as well as whether it's an FHA, a VA, or a conventional. Those factors, those all have different interest rates, and so it's important to understand that the loan program can also affect what interest rate you qualify for. Property type. This one's kind of a surprise to a lot of people. You have condos and you have detached houses, your single family homes, your traditional, single family home. So in the case of a condo, generally there's usually a little bit of an increase in interest rate because as an owner, you only own the interior four walls of your condominium complex. So the risk factors that go into that kind of necessitate a little bit higher of an interest rate. And finally, the financial markets. Financial markets are always moving. Every single day there's change that goes on, and that can kind of affect your interest rate day to day. That's why it's always important to keep up to date with them. Now, I keep very close track of the financial markets, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute in a little more depth. But I wanted to put this up on the screen for everyone to take a look at. This is off the Freddie Mac website. It shows interest rates going back to 1970. You see where we are today. We're kind of just under 5%, in the mid 4.5% range, plus or minus. And this is just general, obviously. Everyone's different. But you can see we kind of came off the lows in 2013, 2016 of like 3.5. So psychologically you're thinking, oh, 4.5 is higher than 3.5. Yes, but historically we are still in really low interest rate territory. I just think that's a useful thing for people to see and look at. Now, these are the financial markets. What determines the interest rates? First one that I watch is the U.S. Treasury 10-year note. 10-year note, very common. You'll see it on a lot of the news programs that cover the financial markets. So that tracks yield. So in the case of the Treasury, the lower the yield, the lower their interest rate. And then in addition to that, the Fannie Mae 30-year 4% bond. Now that tracks price, so price is invert to interest rate. So these are two things that I watch every single day, keep track of where rates are, where they're going, kind of where they've come from. So, we talked at the beginning of this piece about what's my interest rate, and people are looking for a one-size-fits-all answer. And the real answer is that everyone's different. Everyone's circumstances are different. Credit scores are different. How much money they're putting down, type of property. So in reality, there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all mortgage. I tell that to all my clients. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found this illustrative. And thank you for watching this week's episode of the Henwood Edge. Please feel free to call, text, or email me. All my information will appear at the end of the video. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching.
This is not a commitment to lend. All loans are subject to credit review and approval. Not all loan programs are available in all states. Contact a North Point Bank loan officer for further details.